What is up, YouTube family? Welcome back to On-Chain Gaming. My name is Jake, the On-Chain Gamer, and today we're going to be talking about Axie Infinity's two major main cryptocurrencies, AXS and SLP. Because I have actually had some friends reach out to me saying like, hey, I heard you talking about Axie Infinity and I thought the videos were really cool, so I went and invested in a bunch of SLP tokens. And I'm just like, what? What? And then I realized, okay, maybe I have not done a very good job describing what the purpose of SLP is, how SLP works in the Axie Infinity ecosystem, and then what the purpose of AXS is and how that token is meant to work in the Axie Infinity ecosystem. In today's video, I just want to explain both of Axie's cryptos. So without further ado, let's roll the intro.
On-Chain Gaming.
SLP and AXS are very, very different cryptocurrencies with extremely different purposes. So let's start with SLP and talk about what its purpose is in the Axie Infinity metaverse. SLP is not meant to necessarily gain a bunch of value over time. SLP is probably one of these cryptocurrencies that is going to continually fluctuate, not because it's a bad cryptocurrency, but because its purpose is not long-term growth of market cap. The way that SLP works is the more people that are playing the game, the more SLP is going to be introduced into the marketplace. Because you have to remember, SLP is currently the main way that you can play to earn Axie Infinity. When you win a round in PvP or when you win a match in PvE, you're rewarded with SLP tokens for your victory. And that means that the more people playing Axie Infinity, the more and more dilution that SLP is going to have, because the more hours of Axie Infinity that are played every day, the more SLP is earned by the players of the game. Now, you might hear that first half on the supply side and be like, oh wow, SLP is going to be going way down. But then you have to remember the demand side of SLP, because SLP would have no value if it was just a cryptocurrency with an infinite amount of possible dilution and absolutely no use cases. Let's talk about the demand side of SLP, because very interestingly and really smartly, I might add, by the Sky Mavis team, the demand for SLP will also scale with the number of players playing Axie Infinity. Why? Because SLP is the main cryptocurrency used to breed Axies. Axies have a lot of value on different NFT marketplaces. So when you want to breed an Axie to create another one, you have to consume or destroy SLP tokens in order to get your Axies to breed with each other. So that means that the more players that are entering and trying to play Axie Infinity, the more Axies that we're going to need. And if the price goes up for Axies, then people are more incentivized to breed their Axies so that they can sell them for that higher price. And there is this whole supply-demand ecosystem with price fluctuations that happens here. But in general, SLP will probably stay in a fairly consistent price range. Currently, it's been fluctuating between like 4 cents and 12 cents, and that will probably continue for the foreseeable future unless the Axie Infinity team decides to change out some of the payout amounts or rebalance something, but I don't really feel like there's a need for that currently, and unless that happens, SLP is probably just going to continually fluctuate. There's going to be more people playing, and then more demand, and then more people playing, and then more demand. It should stay relatively even to the point that when you're selling or buying SLP on Uniswap, which is a decentralized liquidity pool, as long as there's just as much demand as there is supply, the price is not going to change that much. So when friends have watched my videos and then said, wow, Axie is so cool, I just invested a ton into SLP, it makes sense because in a lot of my videos, I'm talking about how I'm playing the game in order to farm SLP, and that's true. But the reason I'm farming SLP isn't to hold it for 100 years, it's probably to sell it anytime that it's around 7 cents in order to pay myself for playing Axie Infinity. For the long-term investment side of Axie, the AXS token is where you want to look. So now let's talk about the AXS token, the reason for its existence, and why it is a much better investment if you're looking for long-term growth of capital. Now, I do want to say that that is not guaranteed. I am also not a financial advisor. My casual shirt does not deceive. I am just a kid on the internet. So take everything I'm saying just as educational, not as financial advice, but then also do your own research on top of this content that I'm sharing, because I am not perfect and I could be getting some of this stuff slightly off. My analysis, my reasoning, my logic is not infallible. So what is the purpose of AXS? Well, AXS, unlike SLP, which is just a utility token used for breeding and for earning, AXS is a governance token which actually receives a percentage of all of the marketplace transaction fees that Axie Infinity earns. So that means that as Axie Infinity grows in popularity and there's more buys and more sells and more breeds and just the marketplace continually gets more and more usage, the fees that are collected by the marketplace also go higher and higher, meaning that the amount of money in the AXS treasury that the AXS token holders are controlling is also going to increase. So let's look at the roadmap that Axie Infinity has for the AXS ecosystem, which is going to be beginning this year. The AXS ecosystem is meant to launch by the end of Q2 2021. It might be Q3 as the Axie Infinity team is about a month behind right now, but they are achieving every single milestone on their list. They've just slowly been falling a couple weeks behind, but I'm okay with that because I would rather have high executed milestones than rushed out milestones that just don't work properly. By the end of Q2 2021, Axie Infinity is shooting to have the staking dashboard for AXS up and running. They're hoping to have staking rewards for AXS up and running, governance up and running, and then they're also hoping to implement some of AXS into the play to earn aspect of Axie Infinity. Meaning that when you're playing the game in the future, you might not only be winning SLP, but you could also be winning some AXS or have a chance to win AXS tokens as well. And already you do win AXS if you finish high up in the PvP leaderboards, so I guess it already is part of that play to earn ecosystem for the very best Axie Infinity players, but it would be really cool if every single person who plays Axie Infinity, even those not in the top 1 or 5%, could earn governance control of the game simply by playing the game. So now let's quickly look at the price charts for SLP and AXS because it might even add more clarity to what I'm trying to express about the differences between these two cryptocurrencies. So starting off with small love potions, if we take a look at this maximum graph, you can see that the price has fluctuated quite a lot. At one point, it actually reached 20 cents during a breeding event, I believe, for Axie Infinity, which makes sense. If you have a breeding event, it's going to majorly increase the demand for small love potions. And if the supply isn't increasing at that same rate, it makes sense that there was a massive spike in price. And I think partly for the Axie Infinity team, it was a little bit of an experiment. But besides that one very strange move, you can see that overall SLP has kind of fluctuated around that 5 cent mark. Yeah, right now it's almost 5.5 cents for a small love potion. And I think that 10 years from now, you could look at this chart and it will just be a lot more of that same thing. I'm not saying you can't make money by trading SLP, but I'm just saying, like, as a long-term investor, I don't think you're gonna make money simply holding SLP. Now let's look at the chart for AXS. Now you can see that AXS is currently $8.62. That is actually insane. It has been going up a ton. I put $5,000 into AXS, I think back when it was around $1. So yeah, that's a 7x return. Pretty crazy. Now I will admit I did sell some of my AXS. That does not mean it's not gonna keep going up. I think AXS probably has a lot higher to go in the long run. You can see the fully diluted valuation of AXS is $2.3 billion, which is probably a lot right now for the current size of Axie Infinity, but might not be a lot for the size of Axie Infinity 5 or 10 years from now. If we look at this chart, you can see that back in November of 2020, not long ago at all, AXS tokens were trading for 39 cents a token, and yeah, now it's over $8 per token. Now you can see that these charts are very different. The AXS chart is kind of going up and to the right. And guys, this is not a surprise. These two tokens are acting like this by design. So it's really important that before you decide how you're going to invest in Axie Infinity, that you understand how Axie Infinity's different cryptocurrencies were designed. So hopefully this video helped you guys have a better understanding of how to invest in Axie Infinity. If you want to own a part of what Axie Infinity earns from people playing the game, then you want to buy AXS tokens. If you want to breed your Axies, then you want to buy SLP tokens. But you do not want to invest in SLP tokens if your goal is long-term growth of capital because of the growth of Axie Infinity. Axie Infinity could go to 1 million players, and SLP tokens could be worth exactly the same amount that they're worth today. But if Axie Infinity goes to 1 million players, you can sure as hell believe that AXS tokens are going to be much higher than they are today. If you found this video informative, then remember to leave a big thumbs up. That will really help out this channel a lot because the YouTube algorithm sees the engagements and goes, wow, people are really loving this video. And then they recommend it to more people. So it's a great way to help my channel grow and also help Axie Infinity grow because it's sharing more about Axie Infinity with more people. So that's really dope. And then if you're excited just about cryptocurrency gaming, play to earn gaming, blockchain gaming, NFT gaming, all of the different terms that you can use for the same thing, then remember to hit subscribe. I am super excited about how blockchain gaming is going to be changing the future of not only gaming, but I think the entire world. Already in Axie Infinity, in third world countries, you can earn more playing the game than you can participating in your local economies, which is just a mind-blowing thing. So yeah, guys, the world is changing. If you're excited about that, if you're excited about metaverses getting more realism, then hit subscribe. And until next time, have fun roaming the metaverse.